So for y'all that want to go into the specialties, the hard specialties where you can't get in as a black nurse, let me tell y'all what I did to get into the NICU. We all know that how hard it is to get into L&D, to get into the ER, to get into the NICU. I just want to give you new nurses a plan so that if that's what you want to do, you do it. Because God forbid if they told me I had to work med surge as a nurse. I knew as a nurse if I had to work med surge, I was not going to be a nurse. My name is Joy. I'm a neonatal nurse practitioner. But before I was a neonatal nurse practitioner, I was a NICU nurse. I worked in a level 4 NICU. It was so hard to get into that NICU. I called for an interview. They said they were not hiring. I tried to talk to people to see if I could just get in there. I could not get in there. So what I did is I signed up to shadow. Hospitals, they don't really, give you too much fight if you want to go shadow. So I signed up to shadow. Once I got into the NICU, the first thing I did was to let the girl know who I was shadowing, let her know, like, I really want this job. I feel like the NICU is for me. I told her my story and we just really connected. And so I asked her, like, hey, can you get me in front of your manager? Like, is your manager around? Is there any way I could talk to her? And she took me straight to the manager. When I got in front of that manager, I let her know who I was, why I needed to be in the NICU, why I was a good fit, and why they needed me just as much as I needed them. Like, I sold myself to the core, letting her know how valuable I would be in the NICU. The manager that I spoke to that day was not the hiring manager for the new grads coming up next, but she told me to send her my resume. She gave me her email. She was like, send me your resume and I'll get you to the person who's doing the interviews. That night, I got an email saying, you're signed up for your interview. It was really fast. She was on top of it. I literally got the email that night saying I was signed up for the interview. When I went in to interview, the nurse manager that was interviewing me was a black woman. And when I went in there, she asked me, like, what were your struggles? How come you couldn't get an interview? Like, we've been hiring. It's just hard to get people in here. And I was like, they wouldn't even let me have an interview. They wouldn't even let me have an interview. So she's like, tell me who the person is. Like, who did you talk to? I couldn't be honest with her because the person that I talked to was in the room. She was the recruiter that was in the room, told me the NICU wasn't hiring and I couldn't even get an interview. Whole time, she was the villain sitting in my interview next to the hiring manager. I didn't say anything because I didn't know what their relationship was like. I didn't even come in with beef like that. I just wanted the job. I got a phone call on my birthday telling me I got the job. On my birthday, they told me I was going to be in the NICU.